Actually, there is only one sun. But he assumes 12 different positions and thus different characters according to the position in the zodiac in relation to the observer on earth. So it is always geocentric. When the sun is on the third position from the earth, above the earth, he is said to be Jalamaya or watery. That is, when we consider Lanka as the 0 point instead of the present Greenwich, in ancient India it was Lanka, the 0 point. It is from Mesha, 0 degree, and the third position is Mithuna Rashi, when the southwest monsoon rains happen in the Tiruvadira and the Punardam Nyatuvela in Kerala and in South India, and generally in the Indian subcontinent as such. At that time, the sun is said to be Jalamaya or watery, and this is an astronomical fact for the special monsoon climate of the Keralites and Indians in general. Some Kaalavith means the one who knows the time, or Jyotishi. They think that the wheel of the chariot of that Sarvatna and expert Trigalatnani, that is the knower of the 3 times, past, present and future, represented as the sun, the entire universe is functioning. That is the Brahmachakra for them. That wheel is always moving and has 6 spokes as the seasons. The 7 wheels run as the 7 horses without taking a second rest. It doesn't take a moment's rest, always running around. Thus, with the 5 feet, the 5 organs, the 12 forms and positions, with 7 horses and 6 seasons, the unit of time as Samvatsara shows all the powers and prowess of the Kalatman, the Prajapati. It is this Prajapati who controlled the entire food cycle, the entire eco cycle, which gives birth to and creates these multitudes of living beings, this biodiversity on our geographic area. It is this Prajapati who takes the form of the twin couple, the Rai and Prana, for creation, that on which the universe depends for existence. That Samvatsara is the Prajapati's unit or symbol. With the 12 months or positions, he starts a new process so that each human being can observe it, study it for generations to come. He is thus the best model teacher for all time and space. Now, Masa or month. Now, first we said Samvalsara, the Varsha, the year is the Prajapati. Now he says Masa or month also is Prajapati. The Krishna Paksha or the dark half is the Rai. Shukla Paksha, the white fortnight, is the Prana. The sages do Homa in Shukla Paksha. The people who desire children do Homa in Krishna Paksha and follow the Pitriyana. Krishna Paksha is moon as food. Shukla Paksha is the sun as prana. Everything is prana only. Therefore, for the wise sages, there is no difference between the Uttarayana and the Dakshinayana, or between Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. They do Homa always in prana and do tapas always in prana only. Those who doesn't visualize the prana energy do Homa only in the food or annam and do tapas only to get food. It is only a question of one's viewpoint or one's understanding about nature. Prajapati is also Ahoratra, the day and night. Ahas or day is the prana, and the Ratra or night is the Rai. The one who does intercourse in the day is throwing away his prana unnecessarily without any purpose. To do intercourse only at night is also a type of Brahmacharya, says the Upanishad. The people who do intercourse in daytime reduce their energy and lifespan. For a householder, doing intercourse at night is a diksha for creating new generation, new children, to continue the races. And since it is a duty, it is Brahmacharya for Grihastha. One who is duty bound. Grihastha is duty bound to create new procreation. It is just like a plant procreates, a human being also has to procreate. So that is only a duty. So even that is included in Brahmacharya for a grihastha, but not for a sannyasin. Then annam, food. Food also is Prajapati, because from food is created the retas. Retas means the semen and the seed. From retas is the children created. The semen or the retas is the cause of a new child. When it falls in a woman, a offspring with signs of either plant, animal or human being is born, as the case may be. That is the answer to the question of Kabandha. Starting from the first twin coupled Rayi and Prana, through sun and moon, up to day and night, different couples are mentioned and unified, and finally through this Prana and Annam, how a child is born through the act of usual intercourse or union between semen and egg is also mentioned. So food creates the seed in both the sexes, and when they join, the new generation created with characteristics of the parent race or the parent retas. So this is what the sage told Kabandha. When I was a child of 8 years, when my granduncle and my grandmother died, I asked my parents, where did all these people go? Why can't I see them? And how was I born? These questions were in my mind, and I asked them to my parents. And when my son was about 7 years old, he also asked me the same questions. When Miss V.N. Nair, my mother's sister's husband, my Valyachan, died, he asked me, where did Valyachan go? The same question which I asked my parents, he asked me. So the same questions were asked by human beings for millions of years. The research for the origin of man and the origin of the universe is as old as the human race itself. And it still continues with every child, and it will never end. To spread that, human beings came to know about the origin of life and evolution of life only after Darwin or modern astronomers is to underestimate the brain structure and the function of our ancestors. The deterministic attitude of this type of Western science has to introspect and transform its views in this context. The inquiry into the origin of universe leads us in two directions. One is into the most subtle, the other is into the most gross. From the Brahmanda, the grossest, to the subtlest Paramanu, the subatomic particle of Kanada, there is a mid-position, and that is the seed or semen and the egg, which you call the retas in Sanskrit. From where does these subatomic particles originate? From where does these retas originate? From where does this gross universe originate? All these are part of one question only. That is asked by Kabandha here in this Upanishad. The lipids and carbohydrates and proteins came from our food, annam. And that annam or food is nothing but energy from the sun. The food is ultimately a combination of calcium, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, which are the elements making up the matter, or what in Sanskrit we call dravya. The dravya as rayi and the prana as bioenergy associate to form a jiva or life on earth. This jiva or life in the solar system, in the ever-revolving earth, is observing its own origin as well as the origin of its seat or the pedam. Pedam is the earth, and the seat of that seat. Where is that seat of seat sun positioned? Like that, the questioning comes. Then Vishnu Purana says, our sun is on one corner of the universe as just a dust particle on a giant wheel of a potter. Kaalachakra, that is the giant wheel of a potter. Our sun is only on one corner. That is the exact description of what modern science gives us. There are numerous celestial spheres which revolve and move at a rate of thousands of kilometers per second. To assess their speed and distance and functions is a hard task for human beings. According to modern scientists, there are minimum of 2 lakh spheres in universe, and there are approximately 50,000 stars including our sun. Similarly, there are several planets also, just like the earth. The ancient astronomers like Vasishtha called this cosmos as a forest of Brahman, the Brahmachakra, where thousands of Brahmanda or universes revolve without touching each other, as if the seeds of a Abraspricatorius, that is the Gunjamani, he called, Gunja seeds, which are used as units of measurement in ancient India. Gunjamani or Abraspricatorius was a unit of measurement in ancient India. So many units of measurement, so many Brahmandas are just compared to those small tiny units of measurement by Vasishtha in his Brahmachakra. The elements are in ionic states in stars. By their pressure, the heat and light are produced. By movement of electrons, the ray of light is seen. The body is an association of such elements. Food also is such an association of elements. The atoms and subatomic particles of elements of all objects can undergo fission to give energy as light and heat. The stars, the sun including, is the abode of such energy or prana. When heat and light increase, the hard elements with weight disappear and weightless gases remain. The weightless things naturally rise up. Unless attracted again by the gravitational force of earth, they rise up and are lost to the starry world. This merging in the sun's world is the Rishi's goal. By tapas and wisdom, heat and light, the Atman is weightless, devoid of burdens, calm, and rise up above this earth and its attractive forces. When the heat and light decrease, the objects become heavy and they fall down to earth to continue the earth's circle of food chain. This is the recycling of energy cycle for the sake of sustenance of life on earth. When the elements are divided fully and reach the ionic state, is that state of star the end of a universe? Or is that the beginning of a new universe? If beginning and end is the same state, that should be called the endless, beginningless state, Anadi Ananta. The Rishi calls it Anadi Madhyanta, that without beginning, that without a middle, that without an end, that with no past, present or future. Only when we divide the time-space into parts, the beginning and end of a universe or of a life form is to be thought of. Is the Hamsa the first or is Anda the first? Is Brahman the first or the Brahmanda the first created? That question also is an endless, beginningless question from time immemorial, from the day of origin of the questioning intellectual Homo sapiens in human history. All those functioning with Prajapati Vrata create the dualities as the twins or Mithuna. Only the one who has tapas, Brahmacharya and Satya attain the Brahmaloka. For the householder, intercourse at night and creation of new races of children is a vrata and is part of Prajapati Vrata. It is said to be part of Brahmacharya. And if this is done with tapas and satya and Brahmacharya, one attains Brahmaloka according to Shankara. If done without these and in total ignorance, one cannot attain the Brahmaloka. But still one has to remember that even if done with tapas, satya and Brahmacharya, the householder is creating the twins and dualities, and therefore his attainment has buddhikshaya, increase and reduction like the moon. And it is a Brahmaloka of moon by comparison. They have to come back after enjoying a certain period there. The totally dust-free or viraja, the pure world of energy, without any dust, viraja, without recycling, is only for the Uparayana rishis who follow strict Brahmacharya and not for the ordinary householders who follow Prajapati Vrata, in whose tongues there is no untruth or duality of the Maya. For them alone is the Brahmaloka called the Viraja. So truth is important to attain Viraja. The householders are compelled due to numerous household duties to say untruths or to hide the truth. They tell false things for mere play or for entertainment, etc. Also for keeping an image, they tell lies. Thus the householder is following a mithyachara, at least partially in his life. And thus there is an inner real form and an outer false image for him or for her. What he shows out may not be what he really is inside. So it is this mithyachara that restricts a householder from entering Brahmaloka. If he sacrifices this dual personality, casts off the image he or she take with them, they also can enter Brahmaloka. But this is a very, very rare occurrence. The person who does karma with jnana only reach viraja. The others and the householders who do karma with dualities reach only the lunar and the ancestral worlds and come back after the effects of their good deeds are enjoyed. So that is the eco-cycle. Viraja, on the other hand, is the Satyaloka. It is world of Sattva-guna, dust-free. Those with Rajoguna who have likes and dislikes, who have desires, who have creation of dualities, are unable to reach that Satyaloka, that Viraja. This lesson is given by Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also, and we must remember that Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna who gave Bhagavad Gita was actually a disciple of the Atharva series. He was a disciple of Ghora Angirasa according to Upanishads. Krishna Devaki Putra, the disciple of Ghora Angirasa, it is said in the Upanishads.